The coronavirus continues its spread in the United States, while local and federal measures are intensifying right now to try to contain it. There are now over 5,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus nationwide and 97 deaths. And here is one set of measurements. These 5,000 cases contributing to the market zigs and zags throughout this week. Yesterday was the stock market's worst day since the 1987 crash. Today, the Dow is back up about 5%. Locally, there are 35 states operating under emergency orders. Now, on this Tuesday night, just think about how much life has already changed in 1 week. You know, last Tuesday, many were watching the election results arrive in a set of primaries that was building on Joe Biden's lead. There was talk that by tonight, key states like Ohio might nail down a lead that would make Biden the presumptive nominee. Well, tonight, a week later, Ohio's critical presidential primary is formally rescheduled. Elections and democracy itself are giving way to this public health crisis. Maryland also delaying its primary, though we can note that today primaries did continue with voting in Florida, Arizona, and Illinois. Now, that is just one sign. Many other activities are, of course, giving way as well. Shelter-in-place orders impacting over 6 million people in Northern California and areas around San Francisco. Those are slated to run 3 weeks, maybe more. New York City has a mayor who is now warning that metropolis may get a similar order. Nationwide, over 32 million students have already seen school interrupted. Vice President Pence today asking construction companies to donate respirator masks to hospitals, saying the federal government is considering also activating the Army Corps of Engineers to set up mobile field hospitals. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo warning the peak of this crisis in New York could still be weeks away.
The expected peak is around 45 days. That can be plus or minus, depending on what we do. They are expecting as many as 55,000 to 110,000 hospital beds will be needed at that point.
You know, 45 days is a long time from now. And that is a long time for a metropolis like New York to simply hunker down. Now, the outlook could be longer and worse than that, to be sure, or, remember, it could be shorter and better. Because a fundamental quality of the health crisis we're living through is that all of this will depend greatly on what people do, on what you do or don't do. This isn't a flash flood or a hurricane. This is a creeping pandemic that tests various aspects of our society, from our core operations, like the healthcare and emergency response system, to our information utilities, as well as our own abilities to get the facts and science, to get right in our minds about what we can do and what we should do and shouldn't do, so everyone can make their own informed decisions. And let's be clear, you've heard it from public health experts, you're going to hear it on the news. Some of the decisions you make could literally help save lives. Now, all of this also clearly testing our leadership. You know, I work in the news, so I follow this day in and day out. And I could tell you during this period of time, these last few years, we are, as you know, as you've heard, living through an infamously polarized, petulant political era. And yet right now, the people who lead our government, they are being called upon, demanded to do far more than bicker, blame, or obstruct. No, I can tell you straight up, obstructing is no solution right now. It just won't cut it. Now, the news out of Washington late today is that Republican Senator Mitch McConnell, of course, the majority leader, is pledging a vote on this brand new bill coming out of the House on coronavirus. All of this amidst new debates over what the government can and should do. And as we've reported over the past few days, some ideas that were once considered too extreme or liberal are suddenly being backed and embraced even as the kind of emergency measures the United States needs. Today, for example, we witnessed a conservative banker appointed by President Trump tout cash payments that echo proposals by liberal presidential candidate Andrew Yang.
We're looking at sending checks to Americans immediately. And what we've heard from hardworking Americans, many companies have now shut down, whether it's bars or restaurants. Americans need cash now, and the president wants to get cash now. And I mean now, in the next 2 weeks.
How much?
I will be previewing that with the Republicans. There's some numbers out there. They may be a little bit bigger than what's in the press.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.